What's going on, everyone? This is Evan. I hope y'all are doing well. Myself and Bruce Lee welcome all of you fellow travelers here, making a video today to talk about some things that I feel called to share. So, earlier today, I was inspired by Bo Arnold to hit up a bunch of high volume, short rest sets of legs raised, legs elevated uh, push ups. So thank you, Bo Arnold. Appreciate your inspiration. I could only do 10 sets. I did my best, but I only did 30-second rests. So my goal was to hit upper chest area. Hadn't really worked my chest in a while, and I'll tell you what, it took me a long time to recover from those 3 days of high volume training for those 3 videos I made. And I don't think I'm going to be really making those types of videos at this point anymore, just because it takes up a little bit too much time. And like Bo Arnold said, don't even let anything else distract you. Just focus on the mind muscle connection. I didn't even listen to music, you know. So I just strained and stressed every single set, hard as I could, to the point where I was flat on the ground, just like forcing my chesticles together very, very hard. So, yeah, got a good sweat going, dumped, sprayed magnesium all over my body afterwards, after a really quick cold shower. So that was really awesome. I've also got it all over my hair now. So I like to at least once a day usually apply a bunch of it to my hair, try to get it into the scalp. And after like a shower or something, I'll dry it up as good as I can, and then I'll get it all up in there, and then I'll tie it back just so that everything just saturates in there. Then when I go to wash it out, I am noticing that my hair is starting to some of the excess oil is really starting to release itself naturally, because I don't use conventional shampoo. I stopped using that a while ago. And for somebody with really oily hair and skin, it's not exactly the easiest thing to do. Not the most comfortable process, I guess you could say. But I use a diluted solution of apple cider vinegar in a spray bottle, about a tablespoon per cup of water, with essential oils. I think I got spearmint and lavender in there. So yeah, I really like that stuff. And I just comb it through with a tail comb. Like they're kind of like sort of a wide toothed type of comb. Then I'll just scalp massage, get whatever needs to come out of there. So then I rebounded for I think a total of an hour today. Feeling really good. Went outside, put my feet on the earth for a bit, because it's always good to do, connecting with the breath and all that stuff, and telling my water that I love it each time I fill up my glass jar, thanking the water, telling the water that, I love it and I appreciate the fact that the water hydrates my cells, cleanses my temple, and allows for the spirit of the almighty living creator to flow through me evermore. So that's a nice practice that I've started doing as well, because it's been proven when you speak to water in a very loving way, and you freeze it and look at it under a microscope, it actually forms these beautiful geometric patterns. And I think it ties directly into, when God spoke, when God said, "Let there be light," and these beautiful symbols. A lot of kind of what the New Age sort of worships as certain symbols, they're actually usually base 10 geometric patterns, which are not they're basically not the right symbol. They've been altered. They were altered a long time ago. But base 12 symbols is what you will see in frozen crystalline water structures that have been fed or given a loving intentional frequency, which you attune to by choosing to. It's a choice. Everybody has that choice to make. Neither good or bad. It's, if same thing when you speak to yourself, because you contain a lot of water. We all contain a lot of water. When you speak to your body in say, a negative way, you have a lot of distortions, DNA damage. It ages you faster. It keeps you in a lower frequency vibration. And when you intentionally speak very loving things to yourself, you actually lift your frequency and eventually allow for upper stranded DNA activation to occur over what we experience as time. An interesting thing that I recently discovered is that the compass was invented before traditional clocks, and that the reason for that, which I found really cool, is that um, the only thing that matters is the direction that you're going. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. So that's pretty cool. I like that, because really time is a construct of man. Even though we have it's kind of like based in 12. There's the 12 again, right? So 12 hours and one half of a day. So it's all interesting, but wanted to share a little bit of a story time, just something that I thought would be kind of cool. It's a bit of a vulnerable thing to share as well. I guess I'll start when I've spoken this story before, but I want to share it for people that may get some value out of it, or relate to it to some degree. So the last girlfriend I had, I was 21 years old, and I'm 29 now. So it's been almost a full 8 years since I have been, or really even wanted to be, in some type of a significant romantic type of a relationship. And slowly over time, I've had better thoughts about the whole situation and the idea of inviting that back into my life. But anyway, after that ended, after she had broken up with me for the third time over text, because it was a long distance relationship, but she did come to meet my family basically halfway across the US, and then I went to go visit her after that, a couple months after that, to go visit her family. And long story short, I met the person who she really was, not the person that she was pretending to be, just to gain kind of like my family's approval. She used to stalk me when I was a lot younger, in my skateboarding days. Go down to the skate park and just kind of sit outside the fence and watch. And my friends would make fun of me and make fun of her, and then I kind of, you know, I fed into that a little bit after a while, because I really was just there to skate, and young teenagers being stupid. So, long story short, that relationship ended. I came back home to a dying family member who was our dog at the time, Stella, Golden Doodle. Uh, she was a 50-50 Golden Doodle. Just one of the most wonderful souls I've ever had the privilege to meet and spend a significant portion of my life with. She passed away, I think, the same day or the day after I had come back. And soon after that, we ended up getting another golden doodle. We named him Ziggy. And I still remember the picture of me in the blue plaid shirt holding him. We went to like PetSmart or something to get him some cool stuff or whatever. And he grew up to be the most beautiful dog. Just a giant, beautiful, such a warm, loving, very human like dog. He was an F1B Golden Doodle, 75 poodle, uh, 25%. Why can't it's not Labrador? It's Golden Retriever. Yeah, I get those mixed up. Then 5 years later, he was 5 years old. He started experiencing some symptoms, and he stopped eating. And he ended up passing away in, I think it was my mom's room at the time, on the bed, and I was called by her. My brother was there too. Whole family was there, and he was there lifeless on the bed. And my brother ended up carrying him, and we all went in the car to go bring him up to a cremation place where they do all that kind of thing. And when we got home, me and my brother, we had the hardest cry I think we ever had, hugged each other, and I just thanked him for doing what he did, because that's not an easy thing to do, and it wasn't easy for any of us. And losing him was still to this day right next to losing my granny when I was 8 years old, the most heart-wrenching, most difficult experience, but also very, as much as it's heartbreaking, it's very heart-opening at the same time, because it's weird how it can bring people in that situation together, you know. And I would have dreams where I would dream of him, and my heart just felt like it was being like strangled, like literally strangled. And I would wake up crying already, just like tears coming down. My heart was like not beating fast, but just it was like there was a grip on it so hard. And the same thing happened to my mom too. He was just it's like he was ready to transition to being a higher conscious being, because he was a very conscious being for sure. Some of those, so that some of them are just ready a lot faster, I guess. Wherever he went next, I don't have any proof or labels to put on it, but that's just what I feel. And so that happened a few times, waking up dreaming about him, in certain various dreams. And then just last night, I had an interesting dream where I was in my family home where I grew up, and I was looking around for my parents, and I couldn't find them anywhere. And I went downstairs where I used to live, and like there was a TV on in there, and the lights were on and everything. The bed was in there. It was a little bit of a different kind of a look and setting to it, but I was going all around the house trying to look for them, and I was like getting frantic. I was scared or something. It's like, where are they? Where are they? And then eventually I laid down in our family room area, and right next to me was our other dog. Uh, was basically sisters with Stella. Her name was Jane. Uh, we nicknamed her Bugga Wump, and actually Stella's nickname was Bubba Woof. So we had Bubba Woof and Bugga Wump, and Bugga Wump was a character for sure. We always made the joke that she was like a lesbian, you know. She was a very masculine female dog, so she was the butch. Um, Shout out to lesbians out there. But so coming back to the end of the stream, I was laying down there, and then I look over and I see Bugawump next to me. She was a labradoodle, so she had poodle and lab mix, and she was brown colored. And I went to go pet her, and she had like kind of a bald spot near her belly, almost like when a dog has surgery in that area. And I could feel it, like I could feel her skin there. And then I started to pet her, and it's weird because I have a fuzzy brown pillow, and I think that there was some weird correlation to that. And I started petting her, and then I just started. Well, no, I looked up at a clock, and I saw that the time was 7:30, approximately 7:30, maybe 7:29. And then my worry for my parents not being home dissipated. I was like, okay, it's not that late. It's not that late. It's okay. It's okay. And then I started petting her, and then that heart feeling started had that heart wrenching, gripping feeling started to happen again. And I just felt her put her head like near my head, and she was like empathizing with whatever pain that I was feeling, and I really didn't even know why, other than I was looking for my family. And then I woke up, and then all of a sudden, it was like a quick burst, just one of those quick burst cries, and I just let it out, and after that, I breathed for a bit, and I was like, oh my god, I've never had that experience with her before. And I was like, oh my god, I miss her too. Animal companions are some of the you just build such a deep connection with them. And isn't it amazing that they don't speak any words to you? Those are sometimes some of the greatest, so the deepest, because they don't require words. Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know exactly what that dream meant, but I knew that it was powerful because I woke up with a heart wrenching feeling. And I like that feeling now because I'm used to it. I know that there are people out there that like they haven't cried in years, or like they feel like that they don't experience emotions or something like that. And you know, I believe that everybody is capable of doing that. And um, you're not like a bad person if you're unable to, because I've gone very long streaks in life not experiencing that feeling or emotion. Uh, just recently, I mean, it's been a long time since I woke up straight out of a dream feeling that feeling, and it's very strong, it's very powerful, and very palpable. So like I said, I really don't know what the exact significance of it is, but something about a sense of feeling like I don't belong, or looking for my family, or something like that. You know, and I'm going through so much personal change right now too. So I've been having extremely vivid dreams with familiar people in them, and you know, being in certain places that are unfamiliar. Some of them are also familiar, but I keep wanting to make a note to write these things down in like a journal or something. My excuse is that all the journals I have are already full of other shit, and I want to have one that's like primarily dedicated to doing that. Might just be a lack of discipline, or whatever, but you know I don't know. I'm trying not to put too much of a label on any of that stuff, but I don't know. I guess I just kind of wanted to share that for whatever it may be worth. And just wanted to let y'all know that whatever you're going through, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're struggling with, you're not alone. I think a If you're living in this world and you're not struggling with something, you're not really living, you know. I got my ups, and they're way high up there, fucking manic levels of laughter, bliss, joy, and then, you know, I kind of sink back down for a while. It's a roller coaster ride, man. It's a roller coaster ride for sure. But I'm doing everything I can to align myself with my highest, best version of myself the way that I can currently comprehend it. And even though, you know, external circumstances and all of those things don't seem to be reflecting in that way, I am changing fundamentally as a person, and I can tell. I can tell this is way different from any other way that I have done things and felt things. So I feel very just called to express whatever comes up, you know, not like literally everything, because, you know, there is a point of, you know, having a little bit of discernment to not, you know, share certain things, you know, too quickly, or, you know, things like that. I've been getting into my astrology chart again too, looking at my different aspects and all that stuff. I found a cool website where you can do it for free, and it goes into like all of the degrees, the numbers, and the different aspects, and it's totally free. So I just find that interesting, you know. I think that there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of good insights to glean from, you know, looking at different aspects in your chart instead of just like your sun, moon, and rising sign. Although those are good, of course, you know, those are kind of like your sun sign is kind of like almost like the core, really, of who you are. That's like generally what you are, and then your rising sign is who you, almost like the mask that you show up, or like your first impression that you make when you meet people, or how people view you on an external level. And your moon side would be like the more reflective, you know, type of thing. Or it's a different kind of energy than the sun, but it's still a big, they're all big parts of you, you know. The more so like your inner world type of thing, with as far as like the moon goes, these are all just kind of like energies, you know. They got the, you know, different planets and all that stuff, which is cool. And looking at, especially one of the most important ones for a lot of people to look into, is what your north node is in, because your south node is kind of what's been familiar to you throughout your, like all of like the incarnations, I suppose you could say, or like kind of like the way that you have been and sort of embodied. And then your north node is kind of where it's like totally outside of your comfort zone, but it's like a compass that points north, and like that's the place where, if you prioritize more of cultivating that particular aspect of life that's in your north node, that's where the highest and grandest potential for overall growth, spiritual growth, and expansion can occur. So North Node is super important. Um, so yeah, I think it's cool. I might actually link it in the description if I end up thinking about it. I'll have to upload it on my phone first, and then go on my computer and find the website for anybody who's interested. All you have to know is, of course, just put in your name, date of birth, your location, like the town where you were born, and the exact time down to the minute if you're able to do that. So if you have like your birth certificate, that's usually where you can. That's where I found mine, because I almost thought it was a certain time that I had to double check, and I was like, oh no, it's this time. So yeah, and whether it's in the morning or, you know, p.m. In the afternoon. So all that's very important. It's like the direct, you know, location where you spawned in, you know, the exact time, location, year, and all that stuff. So I personally believe that it can be a very valuable tool, but it's not necessary. Totally not necessary. But it's just it's just another power tool in the belt, type of thing. Sometimes if you have too many tools, you might not know what to do with them. But if you have all the right tools and you know how to use them well, any of these tools can be used to kind of expand, accelerate, enrich your experience depending on the type of person you are. So, just wanted to share a quick message, a little vulnerable talk, and kind of share from an open-hearted place. And I wish that all of you have the best day yet. And Bruce Lee also wishes you very much love, honor, strength to each and every one of you. And until next time, shred onwards and so forth, warriors.